Hello, welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge this morning, 5:51 a.m. Central Time, Standard Time. We have Albertsons Canadian Whiskey Blend. There's that purple, red, and gold. What other famous Canadian whiskey has purple, red, and gold? Okay. This company was founded in 1939. Don't know when the blended whiskey hit the market, but they've been doing it for decades. From what one of my viewers said, he used to work for the company that did the contract with Albertsons. Now it's owned by a big holding group, so you have Albertsons, Safeway, SuperValue, Jewel, Osco, Amigos, etc. So many. They all may have their attached liquor stores. Okay, that sell this. They have phased out the Albertsons name, apparently. Because then you would sell it at Albertsons, and they've replaced it with other little private label names that could be sold at any of their stores. Like the Albertsons brandy, I don't see that anymore. I see what's the name of that stuff? D.W. Anders. So, and it didn't taste the same. I think the D.W. Anders is Hartley brandy bottled for Albertsons. It tastes very similar, if not identical, to Hartley. But anyway, we got Albertsons Canadian Whiskey Blend, a tradition of quality since 1939, product of Canada, bottled by County Line Distillers, Louisville, Kentucky. Same old story. That's a Sazerac product. So there it is. You know how much this cost me? $4.99. Because I had all these on sale. I think that was an unusually low price 3 years ago. They were just trying to get them out of the store. I do still see Albertsons gin. It may be because they have a huge backstock. I don't know the answer. It says, we love to hear from our customers. And then it's saying Barton Brands. So apparently this was done by Barton. Albertsons, owned by SuperValue Incorporated. Okay. Barton Brands was the Barton distilling empire. Not a huge empire like Diageo or Beam Suntory, but maybe a smaller empire like the Portuguese Empire. We're not talking about the British Empire or the French Empire, but the Portuguese Empire, you know, that type of thing. But the Barton Empire was bought by Sazerac in 2009. Okay. And then all their brands came under their portfolio. Then Sazerac bought most of the value price brands from Constellation Brands, their liquor line. Most of them, not all. Then Sazerac bought Southern Comfort, so they just keep buying things up. Will that pay off? Hey, look, I don't know if it's going to pay off. Maybe they'll be in debt and they won't be able to pay it off. I don't know the story. I don't know the story, how it's faring for them. Got to even it out. I might do another taste challenge later today, just because Sunday might not work out as far as getting it done and then having to rush. I don't really want to do that. I have to think about it. I know there was an article about Anheuser-Busch InBev. They said that they were struggling now because they paid so much money for Miller, SAB Miller, that the debt is incredible. And so they're having to spend so much of their money servicing the debt. And that the beer industry is shrinking. So it's not like they're going to absorb the debt with expanded sales. And remember, that's what happened to Stroh's. They bought Schlitz in 1982. First, they bought M. Schaefer, Frederick and Maximilian Schaefer Brewing Company, in 81. That company was probably on par with Stroh's, so it was like an even buyout. So that kind of put them under some pressure to pay off the debt. Then they turned around the next year and bought Schlitz. And there was an article called The Minnow Buys the Whale. Schlitz was a much bigger company, but a terrible debt load. That's why Schlitz was sinking. They couldn't pay all their debts. Oh, and this is a Black Velvet Reserve, by the way. Look at that pretty bottle. And Food Quick said this is the same bottle as the Golden Wedding anniversary beer. Whiskey, sorry. Daylight is almost here. It's at dawn, not dusk, dawn. So then the debt was so heavy for Stroh, they tried to pay it off for 17 years, but yet their presence kept shrinking. Sure wasn't expanding. Their market share was dying up. So then but they just didn't stop. They bought G. Heilemann in 1996. I was there at the G. Heilemann Brewery in La Crosse, Wisconsin, the very day it happened. I didn't take a tour. I should have, but it's City Brewing now, but I did buy a keychain. Then 3 years later, Pabst swooped in and bought it all up. Now, how Pabst is doing, I don't know. They got a website that's inoperable, going on a year now. You see less and less Pabst brands at the store from what I've noticed. I guess Blue Ribbon's still doing okay. So I don't know. Could be dying. It's really not my problem. Now, they said the Busch beer, Anheuser-Busch InBev buyout of SAB Miller was a cash buyout, cash, $100 million. But this says still hurt them because they tied up, I guess, a lot of their money to spend. So I don't. It's really not my problem. It's interesting to look at it. So, and also in relation to Sazerac buying up a lot of stuff. So how's it going to play out? We don't know. 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 I have a viewer. I'm going to set this up so people can comment if they want to. All right. So first let's look at it. They're both golden. They seem to have kind of a viscous, they're a little oily, whatever you call that thing going on. Swish. Alcohol eggs don't look that different. The little fence boards that drip down. Well, the Black Velvet Reserve 8-year age was introduced in 1991. Okay, 1991, 27 years ago. Which means they started aging it in 1983. So they put it in the barrels in 1983. They blended it, then barrel aged it for 8 years. 93. What did I say? Am I saying 83? In 1983. 1983, they blended it, then they put it in the barrel to age while they were listening to Quiet Riot. And then, or Dio album, The Last in Line, or whatever they were listening to. Peace of Mind. The Wild Heart. And by the time it came out the barrel in 91, everybody was listening to Nirvana and all of that stuff. Well, not everybody was listening to it, like not me. Okay. I wasn't listening to Nirvana and Pearl Jam. You might say, you don't have enough angst. You're not bleak enough, man. You don't get it. You don't get it. I don't. All right. I don't even care. Okay. See how short my hair is? Am I wearing a big sweater? No, I'm wearing a t-shirt. All right. My hair is clean. Okay. Hey, clean. All right. Where's the puppy? All right. Anyway. All right. Focus. Will I be able to tell these apart? I'm not too confident in that because I did a Sazerac brand up against Black Velvet Reserve the last time, and I couldn't tell them apart. I got them mixed up. And it was a tie for what I could tell. And so in a tie, the cheaper brand wins. In this case, if you see the Black Velvet Reserve, you're going to probably pay $12.99 to $16.99. That's your, I got it for $10.99 on an extraordinarily low, very good sale. But that's not usual. That's not typical. You're going to see it normally for $12.99 to $16.99, $13 to $17. It's like Seagram 7 Crown. Okay, Mathern's had it for $11.99 a bottle. But I was at some stores Tuesday. Yeah, it was $14, $15. So that's all right. Albertsons, you're probably never going to see it, but it could happen because these stores aren't going to throw the stuff out. They'll leave it on the shelf forever. It's not going to spoil. So you might see it for $4.99, although the chances of that are very, very slim. But even if it was $1 cheaper, if it's a tie, the cheaper one wins, is the way I look at it. I'm not going to pay an extra penny, even a penny more, for a product that's no better than the other product. You might, I won't. You say, what if you're collecting bottles? That's a different story, because now I'm buying the bottle more than the product inside the bottle. Okay, this is pungent. It smells like Canadian whiskey, which has that pungent, full nose, the yeast, the bread, almost like bread dough. Some rye spice, a little undercurrent of wood and perhaps even charred wood. I don't know why people will be offended by Canadian whiskey. Some people say, oh, no, not that stuff. What's bad about it? I mean, it doesn't smell bad. To me, it doesn't taste bad. It's not exotic, weird, strange, or unusual. Now, you might say, oh, I like the deep char, corn characteristics of bourbon. Well, that's fine, but don't. That's fine, but we're not saying that the Canadian is bad. It just may be too plain for your Jane, you know, too plain for your taste. There's a nice little alcohol burn in the nose, and there's a kind of a roundness to it, like it just kind of melds together, marries together. My friend David says melges together. I don't know if melge is a word. It might be. I'm not a linguist. All right. These do not smell the same. This one has more of a candy corn syrup, not off-putting, not high fructose corn syrup, but just like candy corn. But that probably does use high fructose, doesn't it? I'm starting to get freaked out about high fructose corn syrup. Every product I look at has it in there. It's like, why does this need to be in salad dressing? Why does it need to be in everything? And I've read news reports that it's an insidious product. Well, that's usually coming from socialist-oriented outlets, you know, because they want to make a crisis out of everything. And the whole point of the article is, therefore, they don't, you know, the implication, comma, therefore the government needs to do something to restrict your freedom to protect you from yourself. Or the man, the corporate evil, you know what I'm talking about. But it's still, nonetheless, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup could be bad for you. But you got to be cautious about these socialist-leaning articles, because remember back in the 1960s and into the 70s, the whole hoopla, the whole Lollapalooza was about how fat would make you die. And you should not eat butter. They were saying, butter, the evil capitalist, corporatist butter industry. But you should eat margarine, right? Remember, margarine. And then all the liberal congressmen got on the margarine bandwagon, even though they had connections to the margarine industry, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to fight the capitalists by being the capitalist. But, and then everybody wanted to eat margarine and no one wanted to eat butter. And then they realized later, margarine was like eating polymer. Why not eat neoprene? So see, oh, watch it, people. They'll have you thinking in 1987, they'll have you thinking the coconut oil will make you die because of the corporate evil. Another fraud. All right, anyway. So, but there's a little bit of the candy corn. But I don't know, the nose seems thinner. You say a nose can't be thin. I don't know. I say it seems thinner. And this one seems fuller. And this one has more. I'm saying I'm starting to pin it down as a breeze. Now the viewer might be saying, you're getting drunk. Well, I haven't tasted any yet. So how could I be getting drunk? I mean, a little sip. That was to even it up. I think there was some more wine quality here. I'm picking up. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's sherry. And I would say dry sherry or cocktail sherry. And that could be coming from, you guessed it, Taylor Wine Company, who makes all the sherry. Almost bought some of that Fairbanks cocktail sherry. Adorn, that's that huge bottle, 1.5 liter bottle. What was it? Yeah. The $10.99. And the dry sherry. And the cream sherry. And the FBI. So all of that. I said, oh, I got to calm down, though. Got to calm down. So I didn't buy it, but I could, go back one day. Okay, so we have a thinner nose here and a fuller nose. But I'm talking about the body of the nose. They both smell fine. They both smell nice, but there's an interesting quality here because it's like fruit and wine and dried fruit cake fruit and candy and grain, but it's all married together. So very nice and for such a low price. Red beans and rice, they're very nice. He'd order twice. All right, let's go on. Oh, it seems like it's almost like the minty qualities are getting into my nose. Hold on a moment. Oh, this would clear your sinuses like Vicks. And before you laugh about me saying Vicks now, do you know? Glasses on, glasses off, clap on, clap off. Do you know? I was reading a company's, just not a taster, the company that makes Ardbeg. You say that ain't the Scottish way to say it. Scottish, well, you take me to Scotland, to Glasgow, and teach me how to speak Scottish. It looks like Ardbeg to me, A-R-D, Ard, B-E-G, beg, okay? All right? My name does not spell the way it looks. Why? It's French. The French love to put 20 letters in a word that might have one syllable. Don't blame me. But whatever, it's a 10-year age, and they were saying, oh, it's going to be like Vicks. And they showed a copied and pasted picture of Vicks ointment, or that stuff you rub on your chest and your face. I said, I'm not as dumb as people may believe. I said the stuff tasted like Vicks, the cow Isla, and it does. Okay, so this has some of those mentholated ointment qualities. So, and the flavor is really nice over here. I don't know which. Let's see. Oh, you can really gulp these down. Wouldn't recommend it, but you could do it. Ooh, there's a lot of peppery here, pepperiness. My friend David's like, you're gulping it too fast. You're gulping it too fast. My attitude is like, I'll drink it at my own pace. Thank you very much. But Pepper, pepper, pepper. So let's think for a minute. Which one would have more rye note? More rye components? Probably the Albertsons, no? Where does Sazerac get their Canadian whiskey? Everyone wants to know this mystery question. We've got agents all over Canada scouring the country trying to find out. You say, who's we? You know, the whiskey people, the people who taste whiskey. They just can't find out. It's somebody. There's some distillery doing it. There's some blending person doing it. I don't know why Sazerac wants this kept under wraps. All right. That is so much more wine flavored. Now, you might say, damn nation, when I drink whiskey, I don't want it to taste like wine. Okay. I can buy into that argument. But I have to tell you, this one does. It has that wine note. You know, wine has a little twist to it, a little wing taste, which some people love and other people just can't stand and are totally repelled by. This has that. Oh, well, I'm kind of laughing with, I'm not laughing at myself. I'm laughing with myself because I paid $4.99 for the bottle, a $7.50 bottle, not some little mini taster bottle, a $7.50 glass bottle. And by golly, it has a lot of intricate qualities. You say, but you didn't say which is which. I know, I didn't say I could tell them apart. So here it is, competing and battling against Black Velvet Reserve, 8-year aged. And how long is the Albertsons Canadian aged? I don't think they give an age statement. No. Scotland. Tay. We're gonna fly Tay, Scotland. Scotland. I forget the Scotland. All right, you know. As a disclaimer, I have never hinted or openly, explicitly, or implicitly claimed to be able to mimic Scottish accents. Although I've looked at a map of Scotland many, many times. Multiple maps. I remember one of my fellow beer reviewers, James, he's from Scotland, and he was saying, oh, I'm gutted. He was gutted. See, nobody in Louisiana says gutted. They'll gut a fish, you know, when they're cleaning. But that's just a colloquial term, you know, a local term. He was gutted because Scotland voted not to become independent from Great Britain, the United Kingdom, or as they say, the UK. I said, well, why are you gutted? I mean, you're making it sound like you're part of East Germany, you know, like this is the Soviet Union or something. So to me, it was funny, you know, because I couldn't understand. I mean, it didn't matter to me, but it make it sound like England took over Scotland. Well, that's not true. They merged because the Scottish kings became the British kings till they had a revolution in 1788, right? They kicked out the Stuarts because of Protestant Catholic Freemasonry and all that business. All right. Do you make a good gumbo? Hand of Seeds? No. Craft Beer Tastic says, what is gumbo? It's a type of soup, a stewy soup. You know, it's kind of thick, but it's still a soup. To me, it's a soup. You pour it over rice. You can buy canned gumbo, like they have Campbell's, Hearty, whatever that stuff is. You know, that soup that eats like a meal, supposedly. There's a gumbo. It's a chicken andouille gumbo. It's actually chicken and andouille sausage in there. And I think Progresso makes one. I mean, obviously, it's not restaurant quality, you know, or like at your grandma's house, at my mama's, and then we went to my mom and them's and ate. But it's a credible representation of something, and it's cheap. Was Scota Egyptian? Was she from King Hezekiah's lineage? Are you Herbert W. Armstrong by any chance? I don't know. The mother of Scotland. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a person that knows about all that, British Israelitism stuff. The Merovingians. I don't really delve too much into esoteric or metaphysical topics. I'm mostly into like smelling and tasting whiskey, which is a banal. You say that's a banal topic. That's an inconsequential thing that you're doing. This is true. It's standard and basic, but it's very good in standard and basic. See, things can be standard, basic, and still good. So I like that one. I'm very pleased with it. I would buy it in theory because I never really repurchase anything because I'm always doing the long march through the brands. But I think that's very good. Now, what is it? Yeah, let's go on. Yeah, same thing. Standard, basic, and good, and more high rye oriented. More of a rye whiskey. Yeah, must be Sazerac. Must be Albertsons. Do you know that Anunnakis drank beer? The oldest scrolls ever found show this. Oh yeah, they drank beer way back. For all I know, Adam and Eve might have drank beer. Who knows? Adam and Eve might have made beer if they'd have stuck to making beer instead of listening to evil suggestions. It might have done a lot better, but such is the world when people give in to the dark side. But we have free will. We're not robots. We're not created to be machines, automatons. You don't want automatons to be your friends. Okay. I think I'm ready to make a determination. I hope they made some hard cider from that tree. They weren't allowed to touch. See, that statement makes no sense because they weren't allowed to even access the tree. You talking about the tree of life? Oh, I'm sorry, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Tree of life they could because that's what they ate. No. Remember, as soon as they ate from the forbidden fruit, whatever that was, they were expelled from the Garden of Eden. So they could not. And people assume it was an apple tree. I don't know where that legend started. Probably something. I don't know who come up with the legends. Right? So I don't know. The Rosicrucians came up with the apple tree. Might have been Isaac Newton. That makes sense. Okay. But it was a fruit. Okay. Now. All right. So I think this is Albertsons, and I think this is Black Velvet, and I don't think there's a winner. I have to be honest. I would take either one, which means I would take the one for $4.99, right? Why does Sam's Club beer taste different? I swear it's stronger and fresher. I don't know. I've never had Sam's Club beer. All right. But I'm saying, I'm not being flip or funny or trying to be what do you call, what's the word? Jocular, or being a chap, a smart mouth. They really could have they may have really done beverages not in the Garden of Eden. Well, could theoretically, but I don't know how long they were there. But post expulsion, right? In the fallen state. But then you see, so the world deteriorates in the in the antediluvian period. So they were so evil, they were probably making beverages out of God knows what. You know, it was like, that's why the world was destroyed with the flood, because of the you say, no, the world today is just as bad now. No, really, it isn't yet. Some say the world will be destroyed by fire, some say by ice. But from what I know about desire, I hold with those who say it will be with fire, right? Well, we do know it will be with fire, you know. But not water. That's why we have the rainbow. Okay. Why? Oh, all right. So let's see the reveal. I'm saying this is the Black Velvet Reserve. It's nice. It's enjoyable, but I can't say it really stands out above the others. It does not, but it's fine. It's good. If you like it and drink it, I would say you're drinking a good product. Oh, two challenges in a row. Got it wrong again. So it's the Black Velvet that's high or rye. Oh, okay. I still feel comfortable because I couldn't pick a winner. And I couldn't even tell them apart. So I don't know what to tell you, Black Velvet Reserve. You're not shining. You're not shining. You're not beating budget brands. But I think the real reason is not that Black Velvet is not that good. I think the explanation lies in the fact that the budget brands, the store brands, the private label brands, the cheap whiskey brands are actually very good. There's the key to the riddle. You might say, what about that American blended whiskey? Yeah, that gets a little treacherous now. Those can be, oh, well. Treacherous, that's the only word I can use there. They do not seem to have the quality tightness that the Canadians do. Can you get a good American blended whiskey for a low price? Yeah, you can get Seagram 7 Crown. But those other ones, oh. And the Calvert Extra was very good that John Anili and I tried at his house. So, but generally, I don't know. They can be garish. They're kind of fun though, because you drink them and you can't believe it. It's not like the beer though. The really cheap beer will make you ill. Like it's so bad. It's like way more alcohol than it should be. Like some of them be like 15%. And it's just so horrible. And then if you make a mistake and drink that whole 24-ounce can, oh no, or that 40-ounce bottle, oh, they're just so stomach turning, so monstrously bad. Where the American blended whiskeys, they're kind of funky, you know, but you wouldn't drink a whole lot anyway. So, but the Canadians really, they have a lot of good quality. I think that's the answer. That's the key to the riddle, that you get the real cheap ones. They have a lot going for them. So, yeah, I'd recommend them. Now, do we have a lot more left? Oh, yeah. Oh, one more thing about the Albertsons. It doesn't have that with natural flavors thing going, okay? It doesn't say it on the label, and it doesn't taste like it. Now, the next one coming up, I believe, is Canadian Limited. Yeah, that has that strange flavorings added. They must use a lot of brandy and rum. And then oh, I'm not going to name them all. There's a whole bunch coming up. I'm trying to get through all the Sazerac brands, okay? And I got a lot more unopened, like the Northern Lights. Yeah, it's coming. And then I want to get to, well, all the rest. The Seagram's VO, the Seagram's VO Gold, the VO. Oh, I already said that. The VO Gold. Oh, what's the other one? Oh, there's a whole bunch. And maybe it's just that Sazerac doesn't differentiate too much from Constellation Brands, you know, the Black Velvet. Maybe the other, Canadian Club, maybe that will stand out more. I don't know. We'll find out. I can't say because I hadn't done the challenge yet. Wait a minute. What is all of this? Let me put my glasses on. I'm not going to read some of this, I don't think. If you really want to know, the Dems think Trump will destroy the world. Okay. No, they don't really think that. But they might say it. You know, sometimes people say things they don't really believe just to get political advantage, whatnot. All right. Hands of seeds. If you really want to know the truth about the garden, you have to look up the serpent seed doctrine. Trees are men, and their fruit is how you know them. It was a sexual act, and from this spore came. Hence a literal bloodline of Satan on the earth. Yeah, I don't believe all that stuff. That's like Babylonian New Age mysticism. Yeah, I don't believe, yeah, that's, I would recommend staying away from all that Gnosticism. Next thing you know, you'd be going to meetings at the local Rosicrucian Hall at a strip mall. A dingy strip mall too. Yeah, I wouldn't entertain that kind of stuff. That's, yeah, some of those Protestant churches will entertain that stuff. And then you can go and get a degree. I went to the World of Bible Institute, and I got a doctorate in speculative whatever theology. Yeah, just stick with the Catholic orthodoxy. You probably come out a lot better. But it all comes down to that eternal battle, right, between the Catholic, the way, the truth, and the life, versus the dark shadows, Gnosticism, Freemasonic, Talmudic type approach, which we don't accept that. Sorry, we don't accept it. We reject it. All right. Thanks for watching this video production, and maybe later today. I have to think about that. I have to really think about that. But that's not a big crisis. Okay, so Saturday morning, I'm planning to do a taste challenge. That's already in play. I don't have anything pressing that morning. So that's going to happen, you know, God willing. Sunday is up in the air, but I could always double up today. It's not going to be any more drinking, opposed to, it's a schedule shuffle. So that could happen. So yeah, all right. Either way, it'd be, I want to do them like, I've never had the patience. I always want to just keep doing them, you know, constantly. But obviously it's high alcohol, so it'd be very bad to make that decision. I'm more into the tasting of it, and it's fun to do the tasting. So when people ask me those questions, what do you drink to get drunk, man? I'm like, I don't really do that. But other people do. We're not here to regulate your life.